Hey all you bloody little blighters, I'm Bill Bauer, and this is what I think of the Tomb Raider reboot. Okay, tell me if you heard this story before. A young, brilliant mind heads out on a dangerous adventure, runs into lots of trouble, gets caught up in something larger than they are, and has to fight, climb, shoot, swing, and run more than humanly possible to kill the bad guy, get out alive, and be an absolute hero by the day's end. Yeah, I didn't think it was an original story. Truth be told, Tomb Raider actually doesn't have that bad of a story, it just doesn't go anywhere new. The writers for this game don't stand a chance at winning any awards, and if they're hoping to pen the next blockbuster film a game, they're gonna need a checklist of bad tropes to avoid. One of the checkboxes they've left glaringly empty was not making the hero dumber than the fucking audience. I mean seriously, the enemy's motives become blatantly obvious no later than a third of the way through the game. Yet somehow, Lara Croft, a college-educated, adventuring archaeologist, can't figure out what the island's natives are after until the story is nearly over. I mean, for Christ's sake, how hard is it to connect the dots between supernatural events, stories of an island witch, and crazed cultists with a vested interest in you and your shipwrecked friends? Honestly, if Lara Croft is supposed to be sharp, I'd equate her to that of a ball-peen hammer. The other thing that the writers have done a horrible job of is managing their cast of characters. I mean, when half a dozen people get shipwrecked on a cursed island, it's a given that some of the survivors aren't gonna make it. Tomb Raider, however, just kinda plays Russian roulette with all the friendly faces. You see most of them for all of 2 minutes and hear 5 words from them, and just like that, they're offed. If you want to kill someone off, fine, but don't expect me to fucking care when I barely saw them. Honestly, emotional attachment and proper pacing do not exist in this game, which is why it's a real damn good thing. A lot of other things are done properly. On the actual interactive side of Tomb Raider, just about everything is designed properly, but not perfectly. The platforming mechanics are all on target, and most of the level design is so easy to understand that a blind man with no hands could still get Lara from point A to point B. Truthfully though, jumping puzzles don't really exist in this game. You just leap, slide, shimmy, and edge with reckless abandon in the direction you're pointed at. No real brain power is required when climbing, unless you actually start raiding all of the optional tombs on the island. This is the most fucking idiotic thing about the game. It's called Tomb Raider, yet actually raiding tombs is almost entirely optional. Makes sense this does not. I know this game is about how Lara becomes the Tomb Raider, but for God's sake, how can she pick up that title when not regularly desecrating any ancient burial sites? No, instead she seems content to twiddle away her hours trying to desperately get off the island she's on by slaughtering hordes of its inhabitants. Which brings up combat. The gunplay is about what you would expect from this type of third-person game. The only difference is, instead of starting with a handgun, you start with a bow. It's not exactly the most reliable weapon though, but it is silent, which can't be argued with if you're looking to go the stealth route. Honestly though, with the abundance of ammo in this game, and all the skill upgrades that allow you to find and carry more ammo, there's not much point in trying to play in stealth mode. Moreover, Lara is a fucking bullet hog. I don't know what that camisole she's wearing is made out of, but it stops bullets like bloody Kevlar. And how the hell it works better than some of the iron plates that the enemies wear, I'll never understand. And on the note of what everyone is wearing, that brings me to another thing about Tomb Raider. Its design. The look, feel, and general design style of Tomb Raider is what I should talk about now. But balls to that, I know what everyone wants to hear about is the out, in, and out about Lara's defining features. Right off, she's nowhere near as voluptuous as she used to be. That extreme hourglass figure is a thing of the past. Not exactly a bad thing, considering Lara used to be the epitome of an objectified female character. That is to say, big tits, huge ass, tiny waist, and she kicked ass to boot. Basically a caricature of a woman that only a bunch of horny 13-year-old boys would masturbate to while hiding under the covers at night. That isn't to say that pubescent little brats won't be fantasizing about the new Lara though. Oh no, the character designers have made sure that she still has an incredible toned ass that you can see wiggle every single time she crouches through a passageway. Then there's her chest, which struck me as flat out weird. Despite being redesigned, she still has quite a lot of real estate up there, which I would imagine should get in the way while she's... But for some reason, everything stays locked, solid. I shouldn't complain though. If anything did move, it would only jiggle in a painfully fake way and do nothing but weird me out more, piss off fem Nazis and make the kids with raging hormones fap that much faster. Now if you want to know about the rest of the game's graphical design, I guess I could say it's good. I might even have some nice things to say about the attention to detail with the Japanese architecture, but I don't feel like being so kind. So instead, I'll say that everyone who talked absolutely slaughtered every last Japanese word or name they uttered. Bitching about that may be me pissing in the wind, but I fucking speak Japanese. Characters that are supposed to be traveled and well educated, butchering every last word that's not English quickly breaks the illusion of them being intelligent. And now that I'm circling back onto why I hate the characters and story, I think it's about time that I wrap this up. If you want me to tell you whether or not to play Tomb Raider, I say go ahead, give it a shot, especially if you're on an Xbox. The reason? PS3 owners have had access to their own relic-hunting, gun-toting Ruin Explorer ever since the system launched. With Tomb Raider, 360 and PC owners will finally get to run, jump, shoot, and survive exotic and cursed locales for the first time this generation. Now if only it had happened sooner, because Sony fanboys have walked down this path no less than 3 times in the last 6 years. Tomb Raider, late to the party? Maybe.